Welcome to the Trader, a Traitors podcast. I'm Matthew, a writer working in unscripted TV development, and this podcast recaps and analyses every episode of The Traitors, not just here in the UK, but around the world. This season of the podcast is dedicated to the Traitors UK Series 4. We'll be recapping the main events, analysing the strategy, the tactics, the gameplay, answering your thoughts and questions, and maybe even being a little treacherous along the way. Today, joining me is another special guest co-host who is a Traitors superfan. They are going to break down episode 4 and that secret traitor reveal with me. They've been on the podcast before. Let's welcome them back. Sanjay is an award-winning actor in theatre, short films, and TV adverts, and probably all sorts of other things. Hollywood movies, who knows? A writer and comedian based between Glasgow and London, he was awarded, amongst many things, the Birds of Paradise Emerging Talent Award for his show Love Me Like a Chai Tea Latte at Edinburgh Fringe 2024, which was then selected as part of the Soho Rising Festival at Soho Theatre 2025 in London, before it returned to Edinburgh Fringe for a full 2025 run. He's also been longlisted and won various other awards for his writing and performance, including the Somewhere For Us Unicorn Arts Award very recently. What's more, Sanjay is taking that show on the road soon. Sanjay will tell us more about that later. And he's a huge fan of The Traitors, Doctor Who, Only Murders in the Building, and the most murderous soap there is, EastEnders. Sanjay Lago, welcome back to The Trader. How you doing?
I love this podcast. I really do. I was sort of
Oh,
thinking, is this like my fourth or third time? I've been on this quite a few times now.
you've been on many times. It might even be number 5, Sanjay. It could well be because you've
I'm not sad about that.
covered.
It's great. We
You've
did
been
India,
on India. We
Celebrity,
right.
the
Probably
normal one,
even the three first UK ones.
and now
So
the Irish one that is coming on TV.
it's on its way.
So
Yes.
I'll return.
Well, the podcast has already covered the whole of Ireland, so that whole series of the
Has it?
podcast is
Oh my
oh
God, you
we're
have.
ahead. We're ahead of everybody. But Sanjay, you could you can listen along. You can send me your thoughts.
I
Um,
think this podcast is just life. Like, do you know what I mean? It's
oh,
fab.
thank you. How are you finding this series so far? We're going to talk about episode 4 today. How are you feeling about it so far?
I am loving it. The twists and turns, because when you see the celebrity version, you're like, ah, no, they can't top this. But when you hear like before it came out, and Claudia Winkleman was like, they are not kind to each other, they are brutal and serious. They really are,
Yeah.
and you're just about like, oh, okay, you want to get in their bad books? Yeah, I'm hooked each episode, and like even the cliffhanger from last night, which we were going to talk
Hmm.
about episode 4.
Yeah.
I was on the edge, but then the cliffhanger for episode 3, which can we when we get to that point as well, I was like, so I am the cliffhangers and traitors always get me because I'm sitting there going, no. But this series, especially just for me, feels a bit more like what, what, what? So yeah, I,
Okay.
yeah, that's my thoughts.
Good. And of course, I am going to ask you about the secret traitor. Before we say anything
Oh,
else, we are going to initiate our podcast game. This is the Trader Traitor.
oh.
We are putting Traitors viewers' claims that they could easily spot the Traitors' lies and deceptions to the test by playing our own game of secrecy and betrayal here on the podcast. The challenge for Sanjay and I for the rest of this episode is to tell a sneaky lie to each other. Our lie has to be a totally made up fact, a fabrication. Could be about the Traitors, could be about ourselves, could be about anything. Big lie, little lie. For example, I have not prepared this. I could lie and say that before I joined Sanjay on the call, I fell over and broke my leg. However, I couldn't lie and say that I don't like Sanjay's beautiful new glasses when actually I do like Sanjay's new glasses. That would be a fake opinion. So we're not just
Thanks.
pretending to feel or think things. We're looking for fake facts, totally false pieces of information. And listeners, it's time to put your own skills to the test and see if anything lights up your radar before Sanjay and I play Traitor Hunter right after this and reveal our lies. Sanjay, are you ready to lie and deceive me and betray me?
Yes. How many again is it that I'm meant to lie with you with?
Just one lie. I mean, if you want to tell more than one lie, you tell more than one, but one is all you need
Ah,
to win.
well, who knows?
We'll
Ooh.
see. We'll see. You could be lying left, right, and centre. Okay, our game starts now. And before we dive into episode four, well, a few things to go over just about our first three episodes, a little bit of tidying up to do. Some viewers have sent me messages. Various viewers have pointed out, a lot of people were saying, oh, if you watch Uncloaked, there was a clue about the secret traitor all along because somebody's portrait was in the back, in the background along with the main traitors, but that's not actually
Harriet.
true because Harriet was there, and then on that different episode, somebody else was there. So there were actually different players, and it changed in every episode of Uncloaked. And anyway, we turned out it wasn't Harriet, so we were all wrong. Um,
I always said Harriet, and I was so annoyed it wasn't. But I knew it was someone blonde.
yeah,
I
I
knew it was a
Harriet was.
blondie.
That's who I was going for as well. I was wrong. A couple of one listener last time had asked about why there were two letters sitting on the table in Uncloaked, and when Hugo and Ben were there, they only opened one. We think it's because the second letter was
They
about Judy and Roxy's relationship, because they showed it when Judy and
in the previous
Nettie
episode.
were got
Yeah,
to find everything out. I think maybe they just didn't show Hugo and Ben opening that one up because maybe they didn't have a very
care.
exciting reaction. Maybe it was just quite boring. Maybe they were, or maybe by that point the moment had
They all
passed. We
knew.
weren't really talking about that anymore, so we didn't need to see it. I'm not sure.
I
Um,
am intrigued though with Uncloaked when they do the envelope opening, how soon after that is. Because they've had a shower and cleaned up
yes.
and everything. So I'm like, what's
I'm.
the
What's the timeline? I'm pretty sure it is like the next morning after they have been murdered or banished. I think it's like the next day, still at the castle, as far as I
ah,
understand.
which is interesting
Uh,
how they would do it though, because like if it's the next day, excuse me, like if it's the next day, would they not be wandering about?
I mean, I think they're really controlled, so they'll lead them in to a room, film it, and then they're chaperoned constantly. And then as soon as that's done, off they go home forever.
Did you see the clip with Mina talking about how controlled it is and how she
Yeah,
asked if she could go for a run somewhere and the guy had to run with her holding his phone
to
next to her
play Taylor
ear as she
Swift.
did. Yeah, I was like, wow,
Yes.
that's so intense. Like I
Yeah.
told you, when we met in the celebrity one, my friend, she was
Yeah.
one of the drivers of it.
Yep.
Now, I try to get information on her, but she would not give anything. But she did say it's very strict. And she offered
Yeah.
me like the contract to be a runner. They were looking for runners for that season.
Hmm.
Don't know I hadn't told you this before. Oh my God. So basically they were looking for runners and I'm trying to get more experience in like different fields because the industry is so tough right now. So
Yeah.
I couldn't do it because it was in the summer. I had Fringe happening. But I now wish I was in season four, just being a runner and just watching these guys.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like when you come off celebrity season and they're so kind to each other and so lovely, and then you come to this one, you do see the difference of them being.
Yeah.
So I said to my friend Cindy, oh, named her, hi Cindy, hello. That next time they ask for runners, please tell me again, because Fringe, I don't know if I'll do Fringe because I need a break. That was a long
Yeah.
month, but
Fringe is a
yeah,
lot.
it sounds very intense. But like, I'm also intrigued. Like, does that mean they can't talk to their families at all?
No, no
Because
contact. Yeah, phones confiscated the whole time they're there. Yeah,
know what
totally
I
shut
would have done
off.
with them? So years ago, do you remember when you used to go in a phone box and you used to take 20p with you and you'd get like 2 minutes? I remember going camping with the Boys Brigade and we went to St Andrews and we stayed in a church. But every night they would queue us up outside this little phone box and we'd put
Oh,
in 20p's
put your
and
money
we'd get
in.
like a minute speaking to the house saying, yeah, been to the beach, had a good day, sleeping bag soft. And I thought maybe we could do that one by one, but no, it sounds brutal.
Yeah, nothing at all. And I mean, well, first of all, you told me about Cindy last time on the pod, and I thought that was your lie. And then I was
No.
amazed that actually it was all true, so I was really impressed. But yes, but wait, maybe if you become a runner, you won't tell me and you'll keep that top secret and you'll be like, Matthew, I can't tell you anything about this. So,
No, Matthew, I love you. I would tell you small things.
okay, you can give me little
Yeah,
hints here and there. Thank you very
yeah.
much. And with that, Sanjay, I think we are ready to dive into episode 4 of
Woo!
Traitors UK Series 4. Here we go.
Dun, dun,
So,
dun, 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 dun.
oh, we're getting some live music. Uh, we start off with a recap. It's all about Secret Traitor, right? We want to know who it is. Stephen and Rachel want to know who it is. Of course, the faithful don't know about this. Um, Followed by 2 murders and a faithful banishment. The players find their first traitor in Hugo. Off he goes last time, which means, yep, Rachel and Stephen are left on their own, and they're set this task to shortlist the 9 players for murder tomorrow by
Mm.
marking their pictures on the family tree portraits in the hallway, and they succeed. And the reward is that they will meet the secret traitor that night in the turret. The episode begins. We're in the turret. We're waiting. The secret traitor's approaching. They've got their red cloak on. Rachel and Stephen await. There's a knock on the door. I laughed at this last time, but it just cracks me up when Stephen goes, "Come in." In comes the cloak. Now, Sanjay, you've already told me the truth. You're a very honest person. You thought it was Harriet.
Harriet. And then so my three, I thought it was Harriet. Then I thought it was Ellie. And then
Mm,
I thought it was Ross. Those are my three. Because in the first, I think it was the first episode, when they're walking, they're quite hunched. So I was like, okay, it's
mm.
someone big, someone with broad shoulders. But I think it was just the way the camera was. So I didn't think it was Fiona. And I think the camera angles really played with you
Yes.
because she looked a lot taller.
I'm also 99% sure most of those shots are not even her. I reckon it
Yeah,
is just somebody on the crew, a runner. Sanji, you could be doing that next time. You could be in a cloak for all the
oh,
B-roll, all the extra
could you
shots.
imagine?
Oh, that'd be great. You could give me a
But no,
little signal on the camera somehow, like a little
I'd be
motion that lets me know it's
like,
you.
oh, like a wee twitch, like a, oh.
I'll be
But
like,
I
oh, it's
generally was
him.
like Harriet, because I was like, oh, barrister, she's going after him. Oh, she
Yeah.
wants to be head traitor. Because she's an interesting character, Harriet. I
Oh
like
yeah.
her. Um,
Yes.
that's why I was like her. And do you know, I know it wasn't Judy, but I actually did think it was for a moment, and then I felt sorry for Judy.
Yeah, I know.
And can
She
we
had
just
so
take a
much more to
moment to,
give.
can we just say we're into episode 4 and we've already lost 3 people of color? Like the first 2 people to go were people of color. And I know we spoke about this, but I just felt like, wow, being a powerful woman of color, that stereotype does still play in people's minds.
Yeah.
And people do go through changes. It's such an intense game. Like, of course, you'd go quiet and then talk a lot. So that was something that I noticed. It was like the first 2 people to go were 2 women of color who were
Yeah.
bold and loud. And that's why I thought Ellie, when it all came out that Ellie was Ross's girlfriend,
Hmm.
did she get rid of Nettie? By the way, I'm not calling Ellie a racist here. Sorry, that's me. I'm very neurodiverse. My brain just jumps around thoughts. But this is why I thought Ellie was the secret traitor, because
Mm.
the whole thing with Ross and Nettie, I was like, oh, they know each other. So maybe is she getting rid of Nettie? But then that would pin it on Ross. But I thought Ellie, because they were a couple. But then Ross even said in Uncloaked that he thought Ellie was a traitor. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
So
I know.
yeah, but going back to that point, yeah, I did feel sorry for Nettie and Judy because I was like, I feel like they had more to give. But it's always
Yeah.
the loud ones that get kicked out first, which is so sad.
Yeah, even I don't know if it was on TV this morning, but on BBC Breakfast, they talked about this. I saw the clip on YouTube, so I don't know if it was actually this morning or yesterday morning, but on BBC Breakfast, they had a couple of people talking about this issue. They had a woman who's a TV presenter and I've forgotten her name, but she was on I'm a Celebrity, and she was voted out first. She's a black woman, and they were talking about this very issue, and it was really interesting. So I will also talk
Oh,
about it a wee bit later in our bonus listener Q&A episode because still people are
Mm.
sending me messages with different opinions on this. But you thought it was Harriet, so did I. It's not. Down comes the cloak. It's Fiona. I filmed my reaction. I put it online. I was shook. I mean, she was kind of up there on my list, but she
But
wasn't
then
in
you
my
don't,
top three. Like, so I was
because
still surprised.
yeah, but can I also just say, like, why is it always the Welsh ones get chosen as
Are you
traitors? The
right?
poor
There's something
Welsh.
going on. What's going
Like,
on?
does BBC not like Welsh people? But she
I
was so cute when she took off her cloak. She was like, "It's me, hello," and I'm like, "Oh."
She's
She
having
was
a great
like,
time.
she's like someone's wee auntie who's had a couple of sherries, and she's like, "It's me, hello." But I was shocked when it was her. But then my dad walked in and went, told you it was the wee
Uh,
woman, told you."
y-
And I was like,
your dad knew.
"Dad, no." Yep, he knew.
He
He
knew.
was a runner.
He saw the signs. He was like, oh, your
Yeah,
dad was a runner. Oh my God.
he took the
Um,
job, not me.
yeah, it's not just us. Even Rachel and Stephen can't believe it. There's a flashback showing us, Fiona taking her oath, being
Everything.
selected, saying that she's drunk on power, she's writing her murder shortlists. There was, she was of course in the library with Stephen and Ben when Ben named Ross as his top suspect and then he was murdered. So Fiona was in on all of it. This is what's happening. So, yep,
Why does she
Rachel.
not? But why does she
What?
not like Maz? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, why does she keep putting him on the list? What's going on?
Why does she keep putting Maz up? I want to know. I
She's
don't
maybe
trust
she.
any of the traitors though. Can I just
Mm.
say,
Well,
like
it looks like
all
there's already a bit of conflict
like
between
Fiona and
Fiona and
Rachel are
Rachel.
already but Rachel is sneaky though.
I think she's doing really well. Like
She's
she's
doing well, but
very
I would
sneaky.
not want to get on your bad side. But can we just go back to the whole series? So Judy and Roxy were mother-daughter.
Yes.
Ellie and Ross were a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's more? Because I've been online and I'm intrigued because I do think
Oh yeah.
Maz and Faraz
Lots of chat about the idea that everybody's connected. I, well, I've talked about
Harriet
this
and
a
Hugo.
bit. I don't, I don't think everybody's connected. I think there probably are maybe one or two more connections. I don't know if it's the whole cast, mainly because I don't know how you keep all of that a secret, how you cast it all, how you keep the truth off social media.
Oh my God,
Because
yeah.
the Ellie and Ross thing was kind of ruined for me, but because people had been snooping online and
Yeah.
found actual
Same.
pictures of them. So I thought, which I kind of, I don't want to go to those lengths. Like, I don't need to be tracking down people's social media and
Yeah, some people have a lot
scrolling
of
through
time on their
them.
hands.
Like, I just want to see what's on the show and guess from that. That's the fun for me. But I don't know. Do you think they're all connected?
I think there's a couple more.
Okay. Yeah, I,
I
I
do
think it
think
might
that.
be.
I think
Yeah.
there's a gay relationship somewhere.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that turret was so intense when she walked in
Yes, and
because
Rachel
I
says
don't
to her
think
straight
they saw
away,
it.
"Wow, look at you voting off Hugo." And Fiona's
I
just
know.
like, "Well, it had to be
And
done." I can't do a Welsh accent. I'm sorry.
you can't do
Um,
Welsh. I can't either. I could do
that was better
Indian,
than mine.
Indian, a bit Indian, you know. But yeah, she just comes in. She's so happy, like I've done it. Hello. But
Yes,
I think for me though, I just feel like the Secret Traitor was done so quick.
it was, and I was, I actually realized on the last episode of the podcast, I was saying, of course, it was going to be done by episode three. It was, I knew it would be done really quickly, but then I realized when I was watching this episode, well, actually, if Rachel and Stephen hadn't done the task with the fingerprints, they wouldn't have found out because Claudia specifically said to them, if you complete this mission, or the letter, sorry, that they read out, the letter said, if you complete it, you'll find out the secret traitor. So they could have chosen not to do it, or they could have failed, and maybe it would have gone on a couple of
Yeah.
more episodes. So um, I always thought it wouldn't last. It's definitely not the whole series, but yeah, maybe
Oh
it
yeah,
could have gone
Fiona would
on
have been
to
out by
episode
then.
four,
She would have
five,
been
six.
banished.
Oh, do you think? You think she would have
I
been
I think she would
caught?
have slipped up because when you watched Uncloaked and they showed you the clues of her talking
Yeah.
about being the secret traitor, like her red thong or something, she says,
Yeah.
you're like, wow.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
it was.
I
Although I
just I think
suppose the players didn't. they had no idea that she was wearing a red cloak and that that's what the secret traitor would wear. So that
True.
clue might not mean anything to them.
And only the traitors knew who the traitors were. But she's
Yeah.
got such an advantage in the game
Yeah,
because
especially for the
she
first
knows who
few
traitors are
episodes.
and faithfuls.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
of course.
but now she's on level playing field. But
Okay.
yeah, ah,
Uh, yes, Rachel then does explain the secret mission they have completed, and they all sort of talk about sticking together. Rachel tells us she's a bit nervous about Fiona, but for now they're going to pretend they're going to be a team. Off they go. Fiona's still in a red cloak. I don't know if that's going to get replaced at some point.
I
Um,
hope it doesn't.
I'm going to just give a wee shout out to the listeners who did predict Fiona all along, or at least had a top three and Fiona was in there, right? There will be more
Yay!
than this. I'm sorry if I miss you out. This Stacey on Instagram sent me this like a week ago. She said, "I'm finally watching episode one. I haven't listened to the podcast yet. It seems to me that one of the older women will be the secret traitor, based on the
Mm,
popularity of the stereotype in recent seasons, like Linda and Amanda in season one, and because of the
yep.
age and gender of the other traitors, so she thought it was likely to be older." Charlotte on Spotify sent me this message 6 days ago, so she didn't know. "My top guess for Secret Traitor is Fiona. I just think it's such a good casting. Someone like
Mm,
Linda, who's a real character. If Fiona were with the main traitor group, she'd be constantly dismissed by the others. Being the secret traitor, Fiona gets to set the agenda and make cookie choices. Plus, I can imagine Hugo hitting the fan when it's revealed. Joe, who listens to the podcast and is going to be a co-host on the podcast next week. Joe thought
ooh,
Fiona was in his top three. A different Joe on Instagram who's running the Betrayers event in Brighton that I spoke about in the podcast last time, and I put the link for it. Joe had said he thought it was Fiona, and then sent me a message afterwards saying I knew it. On YouTube, Sandy C, Zypger, Hope Andrea, DMVCBN, Stuart W, and Zach all thought it was Fiona. Zach even sent us the graphic last time that I put on the YouTube video, and he'd crossed out all the people that it couldn't be, and Fiona was one of the few that he had not crossed out. Shan on Spotify said, "So glad my number one podcast is back. Thank you, Shan. My predictions are either Jessie, Harry, or Fiona." There we go. So it was in Shan's top three. And I will also give a wee shout out now to Fiona herself. Fiona sent me a message. Fiona is listening to the pod and said, "Listen
love
to your
this.
podcast, all series. You do a wonderful job. Keep it going, Cariad," which is Welsh for like love. "Keep it going, Cariad." That's my Welsh
Wait, and
accent.
then that's the actual wee Fiona.
Actually, wee Fiona sent me a wee message.
That's
Yeah,
fab.
that's
Hi,
sweet.
Fiona.
Hi,
My dad
Fiona.
knew it was you. I didn't. Iconic though.
Oh,
But you know, she just
bless.
comes in like this little auntie who's coming in with cakes, and then she's like, "Murder." Like, it blew my mind when she walked in, and the two of them are like, "Sorry, what?" And she's like, "Hello, hello, hello, it's me." So, do you know, I
I
think it's
love your
like,
gremlin voice for Fiona.
sorry,
Hi.
Fiona, hello. But no, it really did blow my mind. I was like, oh my God, she walked in, but yeah, I didn't see it coming. But I do think it's so interesting, and I love it when there's like an older woman. I'd say
Yeah,
like someone who's 50 plus because they've got so much more interesting experience than the younger
yeah,
ones, like life experience. And
yeah.
I think that's so exciting. So hi Fiona, I'm a fan, and congrats on being a traitor. But I do think she's in for a tough ride.
Yeah, it's an interesting combo of traitors,
Yeah,
definitely. Where we've got
because the
listener
kindness
questions
isn't
about
there.
theories of how it's going to go and stuff. Yes, it's there's already mistrust, and maybe that was always going to happen with a secret
Mm.
traitor. Maybe there was always going to then be a bit of tension because
But I
of
think
this.
also because we've had what now 3 seasons of civilian and one
Yeah,
um excuse me celebrity, people now
yeah.
know how brutal to be and how it can change and twist. So we got you, Fiona. We backing you. I think I'm backing Stephen and Fiona. Rachel, I'm sus about. I'm like, "Nah, I don't trust you."
I mean, I wouldn't maybe trust her if I was in the game, but I think
Great player.
Rachel. Yes, I think she'll play the game very well. Uh,
Yeah.
it's time for breakfast next day. Of course, there's no murder. The faithful don't know that, but we know that. Here come the groups. First
I
group.
forgot that
Oh,
though. I
oh,
forgot.
yeah. There you go. You were waiting. You were waiting to
I think
find
because it
out
was a
who wasn't
week
there.
to wait till the next episode, I was like,
Well, that's true. Yeah,
oh,
yeah. In come the first group. We've got Ellie and Ross together. Interesting. Plus the two traitors, Rachel and
Mhm.
Stephen. And they reflect a bit on Hugo's banishment. Stephen's pretending, I thought we got it wrong up until the last minute. Even though he voted for Hugo, Stephen is just desperately trying to prove he's a faithful. He's under a hell of a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Here comes Fiona. She's in the next group. And she says to us in our interview, she says, I'm very good. I'm very good, according to my son and my husband, Gwyn. I think she says Gwyn, at flowering stories up. And then there's a cut to a shot of her at breakfast. She's sitting beside Adam. I thought, what does this mean? She's just mentioned her son and her husband. She didn't mention her son's name, but she mentioned her husband's name. Is Fiona's son in the castle? Is that what they're... Lots and lots of people online think Reese and Fiona are mother and son. It could be. Maybe
But
there's
is he
something's going on here.
Welsh?
No. So yeah, she would have to. Yeah, they're not. He's not Welsh. He doesn't have a Welsh accent, so maybe she doesn't. She'd moved away, and he was brought up somewhere else. Don't have to have the same accent. But
True.
I don't know. I looked at their ages. So Fiona's 62 because it tells you on the bottom of the
Yeah.
screen. Stephen's 27. She could have been 35. She would have been 35 to be. That's believable. That
Yeah.
could be.
Yeah.
So who knows? We'll see.
Does she live
And
in Wales? Have you looked at her Instagram?
I've not
Fiona, where do you
checked where
stay?
she
Can you
actually
tell? Because if you don't stay in Wales, then maybe they could be. Hi,
could be.
Fiona.
Could be.
Do you think she'll listen to this? Oh my God, that's
Of course she
iconic.
will.
Oh my God, there's a traitor listening to
There's a
us.
traitor
Hi,
listening.
hello.
There's another former traitor listening who I will come to a wee bit later, actually.
Is
Who
it
sent us a
Claudia?
message. It's that I've Claudia's listening. Claudia, please send me a message. As far as I
Claudia
know, Claudia's not
messages.
listening, but send me a message. Uh, so Fiona is sitting beside Harriet, and she's pretending to the group that she just didn't suspect Hugo until yesterday, until Harriet led the charge against him, and that
And
swayed
that was
her,
a
and
charge.
it was absolutely
Like
Harriet was
Harriet
on
was
it.
taken. She was like,
Yes. And Stephen's sort of watching all this. So he says he's very impressed with Fiona. Like, he still can't believe Fiona's a secret traitor, but he's very impressed with how she's playing it and she's acting like, oh, she just doesn't have a clue and everyone's buying it.
but it's also
Uh,
because she's not changed since she arrived to now.
yeah,
The others,
yeah,
if you notice, have had small changes and blips. She ain't blipping.
yeah, she's been quite consistent,
I
so
think if I was
it's
a traitor,
believable.
I'd be a Fiona. If I was a traitor, because what you see is what you get. Do you know what I mean? I'd just be like this the whole time. I'd be a
I know,
mix between
Sanjay.
Alan Carr and Fiona. That's what I would be if I was a traitor.
Fiona Carr.
Yeah, I'd be Fiona Carr.
That's a great comparison. That's well done. That's a great two people to be a combo of.
Could you
Uh,
imagine?
in the next group, Q James, he's jumping in. He's kind of quite. You said he was quite frenetic and quite erratic, and
Well,
Jesse.
he is.
There's this theory that we said that Jesse and James could be siblings. She's also quite. She likes to jump in. She's very expressive. Maybe there's something in it. I don't know. And then I can't believe what James does here. To me, it's totally shocking, but no one else seems to mention it. James does almost literally what just got Hugo banished. He makes a speech to the whole table. This is mad to me.
Yeah.
He tells them all, well, I've got you here, and well, Reese isn't here. Reese is the traitor. I've got proof, and you all witnessed the proof yesterday, and I will bring it up tonight. And I'm like, first of all, just tell them now. Don't wait till tonight. And secondly, stop making a speech in front of everyone. Like, you just banished
The
Hugo
whole
for doing
speech
this
thing doesn't
yesterday.
go well. People need to
It
learn
never goes
this.
well.
Doing a speech
Yes,
never goes well for you.
don't do a speech. Unless it's down to like the final four and you can say whatever you want. But
Then
at
yeah.
this point, James, stop. Um, and Harriet's like, oh, well, okay, if that's what you think, yes, just get your evidence together. I think Harriet in her mind's like, shut up, James. So Reese, Amanda, and Matt are the last three to return, but we know that they're all coming back, unless, like you, Sanjay, maybe we forgot for a moment. So someone guesses, oh, if they all return, there's been a recruitment, and they do return. So they're all going, oh, there's been a recruitment. And Jack says, yes, that means there's a new traitor. Cut to Fiona, sipping tea. She's not really a new traitor, but it's some funny editing. I enjoyed that.
I'm not
Claudia
gonna
come.
lie, I felt like Kate Garraway at that one. I was like,
Oh my
"There's
goodness,
been a
yeah.
recruitment,"
Maybe there's been a recruitment.
and then just Fiona sipping her tea, like,
Yes, maybe. Or maybe something else that you all don't know about. Claudia arrives and says, oh, you're all here. What does that mean? Were the traitors merciful? I'm afraid they weren't. Well, they didn't commit a murder. They did put 9 of you on trial. And just so you know, they did this yesterday in plain sight. So she's helping that she's giving them a bit of a clue. And she says they could have put themselves on this list. And then she names the
hmm
list. Amanda, Faraz, Jack, Jade, James, Maz, Reese, Sam, and Stephen. And for one of you, it will be your last breakfast. This is normally when I say it's time for a mission, but today it's going to be a little different. Before the mission, you have a round table. I was, I gasped, Sanjay. I was aghast. I was
Yeah,
agog.
I was the same. I was like, "Sorry, what?"
A round table now. Now, if I'm being very, I don't know if this was planned all along. Someone online suggested, and I did wonder this myself. Was this a last minute change because when we see the mission later, it's pouring with rain? Did they switch things around just because
Just to be
they didn't want them
like,
to go out and do the
mm.
mission? I don't know. I don't they've
But
never
and,
done it
but
before.
also, but
And
I
we've
also
seen
would have
bad
liked
weather
to have seen them
before.
in the rain. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen them in the rain. Is that kind of a bit sad? I would have loved to have seen them. They were all slipping about in their clothes anyway, so I was like, "Doesn't it going to make a
Yes, it
difference
was rainy
anyway?"
anyway.
But
Um
imagine having your croissant and you're like, "Oh, time to go get changed," and you're like, "Oh," and
oh,
then,
we have
"Oh,
to
I would
vote
feel
right now.
sick."
Yeah, big
Yeah, but
shock.
then does that mean they're going into another round table that same day?
Uh
Because then that
No,
means three
because
people have left.
we
Oh,
see
we ended at
them go
night.
to the turret at night, so we only get our one round table.
Oh,
But I
because it
did
was
that
the
did cross my mind. I wondered, is it two
totally
in one
forgot we've done a
day?
whole day. My God, that
Yes.
was a long day then.
So the players are shocked. I'm shocked.
My
And
dad's shocked.
did you say your dad's shocked?
Yeah, my dad's out there going, "What? What?
I
They've
love
never
your
done
dad.
that
I
before."
just we need your dad on the podcast to give us his
Oh, my
reactions.
dad loves watching the Traitors. We also love the Indian one, and my mum got hooked. So my mum's a nurse, and every night she comes in, she's like, "How long do I have?" And it's like, "You've got 10 minutes till it starts." And that woman, I kid you not, has a shower, gets ready, jammies on. She's there by 8 o'clock with a cup of tea. She's like, "Turn it on now."
She's on it.
We'll watch,
She's
we'll
ready.
watch EastEnders after. So what we do is we watch Traitors, Traitors Uncloaked, EastEnders. She goes to bed, and then I read my book.
What a
Cinderella
night.
goes to the morgue.
You're deeply immersed in crime. Like
Oh
it's
my God, I love like crime novels, murder mysteries. I've always been a massive fan of Agatha Christie. I've been
mm,
a fan of Vaseem Khan, who writes the Baby Ganesh series, which is like indie,
ooh,
is like murder mysteries in India. Like
hmm
I've always loved that, and I think my love for like things like Traitors and all that comes from a memory of mine of an Indian Bollywood film called Gupt, Gupt, which was the first ever murder mystery I saw. And it's like a love
Oh,
triangle, and people are getting murdered around it. And it's one of my favorite films. So I always love a good murder mystery.
okay.
So
I'm
yeah,
writing it
sorry,
down.
I went on a
It's
tangent
going on
there.
the list. I must watch this film. I must be
Yeah,
inspired.
Gupt.
Okay,
It's
right.
insane, but also because it's a Bollywood murder mystery. Hey, there's music and there's dance numbers, and I
Well, why
love it.
not? Of
Someone's
course.
getting stabbed whilst they're dancing on stage. I've only had that in the trailers, not like someone getting stabbed, but I mean like the dance numbers.
Well, maybe we'll have a Strictly and Traitors crossover at some point. It's only a matter of time before a Traitors contestant appears on Strictly. I'm calling Harry from season two. He's going to end up on Strictly at some point.
There's a lot of
Telling you now.
good-looking people in this series, can we just say?
Yes, it's the most
I'm just
attractive
gonna,
series. I
I'm
believe it.
looking at them all going, hello.
Well, maybe we have to
Like,
find a
is
way
it
to introduce you
Matt?
to some of them. Matt's
Matt
very
is the
handsome.
head, he's the
The
headstand artist
headstand
guy
man.
who I had seen his stuff before he was on Traitors.
There you
We've
go.
seen that booty.
He's he's a handsome man,
Yeah. But
but he's also engaged or married and is saving up money for the wedding. That's why he wants to win. So
fingers crossed for
maybe
you, Matt.
you could be
Maybe
a best
Matt's his
man.
mum. Maybe Fiona's his mum. Fiona's just a
Welsh
mum to
Fiona's
everybody.
now she's the mother of Northern Irish Matt. I love it.
Yeah, because they
She's got
moved
kids
there
all
when
over the
she was.
place. Maybe
Yeah.
Fiona's everybody's mum. Maybe she's got like 10 children from different parts of the country. I don't know how that works.
Do you know, Fiona gives me the vibes of Mrs. Claus. Helpful,
Oh
funny.
yeah.
Don't mess with her though. Do you know what I
No.
mean?
Very organized.
Yeah.
Keeping Santa right.
I love her energy though. When
Yes,
she,
I
I just
have.
will never forget when she walked in, she's like, hello. And you're like, oh, it's you. But yeah, back to the round table. I
Yes.
would feel sick after breakfast.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I would love to know, Fiona, if you get a moment, what was the atmosphere like after breakfast in the room? And did you actually eat anything? Because if it was me, if I'm honest, Matt, I would feel really sick. If you've just had wee Claudia in saying, enjoying your breakfast, well, there's going to be a round table. I'd be
Are
like,
you are
what?
you just
I've
using
just
the
had a fried
podcast to
egg.
send Fiona questions now?
Maybe.
You're like,
I'm
Matthew, enough of you. Fiona, anyway, tell me.
hi. She needs to come on this podcast.
I'm going to try my best. I'm going to
Fiona,
try.
if you're listening, I'll buy you a curry.
Oh,
But yeah,
God.
that's the first time that's happened as well, hasn't it? Like a post-breakfast round table.
Yeah, yeah, it's never happened
Yeah.
before. And Ross, because they know now about this sort of, it's not murder in plain sight, really, because they know about the fingerprints. Well, they know that there's been 9 people chosen.
Mm.
Ross starts, saying to everyone, right, do you all remember interacting with Hugo? Because we know Hugo's a traitor now. And I immediately was just like, Ross, you've got heat on
Shut
you.
up.
Stop speaking. And they
Hmm.
all are theorizing about, oh, well, I hugged Hugo, I did that. And I sort of thought, don't they realize that it probably all happened after Hugo was banished? Like, these murder in plain sight things always happen after the banishment. So there's not really any point in thinking about Hugo. And the players also theorize, oh, there's probably a traitor on this shortlist of 9 people because they always assume that. So Stephen is now panicking. Oh God, maybe I shouldn't have done this.
It's
It,
the Maz and Roxy thing that blew my mind. Steven, you could tell, was panicking, so he's like, "Oh, that's happened," and I feel
oh
really sorry for
yes,
Maz. I am so. I feel sorry for that guy. Like Fiona was gunning for him twice. Don't know why Fiona.
and now Stephen's
And then
after
you've got
him.
Steven going after him, and I'm
Yeah,
like, "What's Maz done?" But him and
poor
Roxy
Maz.
did put themselves in a firing line to be like, "We don't see red dots."
Yeah, but the weird thing is that Ro Stephen focuses on Maz rather than Roxy. He's saying, "I saw
Hmm.
both of you." I don't know if it's just, oh, it's easier if it's an older person as part of it. I'm not sure. I don't know if Maz is just a quieter guy and he's quite. Maybe Roxy's more likely to stand up for herself. I'm not sure.
Oh
I
yeah, you
also
saw her when
realised,
Judy went.
yeah, yeah, she's very vocal. She's, very willing to defend people or, stick by an opinion. Stephen also just looks nervous most of the time. He just always looks a bit
Yeah,
red.
and you're
I
like,
mean,
"Oh,
God
poor
bless
guy."
him. No wonder. He just looks really like he's struggling. And
I
half of his
really
confessionals are just him going, oh God, what have I done? Oh, I think I've made a mistake all
Can
the
I just say,
time.
I really love his voice, his accent. Like one of my favorite things, like acting wise, I love accents. So every time I hear different accents, and his accent is the kind of accent that the beautiful Alan Cummings does for the
Yeah, very
American
similar.
version.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting. But I just think, yeah, he's got such a pleasant accent. And then you've got the Welsh and you've got the Irish. That turret is just such
Oh,
a
yeah.
mixing, beautiful pot of accents. And I love it.
Yeah. And we
But yeah, I
replaced
do agree.
Hugo with another Welsh person, so we've still
Hmm.
got this like Northern Irish, Scottish, Welsh turret. It's fun
But
and it is
Fiona is
nice.
a lot more Welsh than Hugo,
Oh
I would
yeah,
say.
yes, very strong accent. We get some reality time around the castle then after this. So Reese says something here that, and I really like Reese, and I really like how he gets emotional towards the end of the episode. But he said something here that sort of made me confused and laugh a little bit. He comes out the breakfast room and he goes, "Oh, I've been up for murder literally every day. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And I thought, oh, this is really interesting. Number one, he hasn't been up for murder every day.
No.
Um, he he only came into breakfast last one time, so I don't know why he's saying that. And secondly, it's really interesting that the players have all obviously realised, or they think, that if you come into breakfast in the last group, and I know why they think this, they think, oh well, it's like how you see on TV. It means that if you come in last, you were one of the people that might have been
Yeah.
murdered. So they're assuming that's how it's playing out. But actually, that's not true anymore because in this series alone, Ellie walked in with the last group one day when she wasn't on the murder list. Rachel, a traitor, came in last at the breakfast group when Nettie was murdered. So actually, that it's
They've been
not
mixing
really
it up.
accurate anymore. But Reese is just so funny. He's like, "Oh, every day I'm up for murder," and I looked back and I was like, "No, you're not." Um, but the players are then, yes, like you talked about, they're in the hallway. Ellie notices the fingerprints. They're trying to figure out how did someone get away with this. And Stephen comes for
Mm.
Maz and Roxy. And I mean, I thought, yes, it's sad that Maz is always getting targeted. At least I thought Stephen is doing probably what he needs to do. He has to quickly find a way to blame someone else before Reese says something about him and Rachel being at the painting. So he's like, I saw you two. And they were there, like he did see them, so they can't like deny it. But yeah, like you said, they just sort of say, well, there weren't any red dots on it. And he's not like instantly accusing them. He just sort of says, oh, did you notice anything? I think the chimes went like 5 minutes later. So he's sort of
But
like easing himself into it.
I do think though he's put Roxy in a difficult position because say they catch Steven as a traitor,
Yeah,
they'll then be like, well, you also said Maz and Roxy, but you didn't go after Roxy. You only went
yeah.
after Maz, and then Roxy tried to help you because she was looking after you. So is it traitor helping traitor?
So it could end
So I
up
feel
that
like
way.
Rachel and Fiona could choose that narrative. And if you didn't, Fiona, well, you should have then.
I also wondered if, yeah, throughout the whole episode, Reese, as far as we see, Reese never mentions to anybody else that he saw
Yeah.
Rachel and Stephen.
And oh my God, that bit was so cringe to watch. She's like, oh, I have to tell you about. And he's like, well, do you want me to go? And I was like, that was so obvious. You were there and they're talking about Latin. Come on. And I really
Yeah,
hope he remembers that. I was like, how could you forget? That was so obvious. She's like, oh, I need to,
yeah.
yeah.
The sad thing is for
Oh my God.
Reese is even if he does remember it next time,
He's going.
he's got so much heat on him now by the end of this episode. I wonder if people will think he's making it up, or they'll be like, well, that's
Yeah.
convenient that you've suddenly remembered this. Why didn't you remember this yesterday? So,
And then the two of them will turn on them
yeah, and
and be
yeah,
like, well, we never
exactly.
saw you
If
there.
or if he mentions it, they could say, well, actually, you were the one who offered to leave us alone. We didn't ask you to go.
Yeah.
Were you trying to plant something on us? So this could all go horribly
I
wrong for
was so
Reese.
surprised because I was waiting for that moment. Because when that happened in the previous episode, you're like, oh. It's like I've said this before in the other podcast. It's like Chekhov's gun, basically, where if you see a gun in Act One, it's going to bound to go off in Act Two or Three.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
felt like that was one of those moments where I'm like, oh,
yeah.
oh,
We're waiting,
but
and it
we never got that. We got
just doesn't
him
bring it
crying in
up.
the
Yeah.
kitchen afterwards.
Oh, I
So
know.
yeah,
Later on, we've got Ross. He's in the billiards room. He's pointing out again, like in the last episode, that only five people were in the room when Ben named him, Ross, as a traitor suspect before he was murdered. So Ross still thinks, well, it must be someone in the room. Someone in the room's a traitor. Stephen, Fiona,
mm.
Jesse, James, or Ellie. And he is right. He's
He's
correct.
got two.
But he doesn't know that for sure. It might not be.
Mm.
Like, Reese says to him, or Reese starts to say to him, so you think one of those people. And Ross just interrupts and goes, no, 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 no. I don't think. It's a fact. And I just laughed so much at this because, again, I'm like, well, you are right, Ross. There are two traitors in the room, but you don't know that as a fact. Like, that's one possible thing like that could have happened. You're
Yeah,
not the only reason Ben was murdered. Like, Ben might have been murdered for another reason altogether, or I
yeah,
think someone else suggests this later. Maybe someone in the room who's a faithful just went off and told someone else in conversation, oh, Ben just said he thinks it's Ross, and then a traitor overheard it. It didn't have to be.
Yeah.
It's just so funny that Ross is like, it's a fact. But
Yeah,
I guess he's
but
just desperate. He's so desperately trying to protect himself. I actually feel really bad for Ross. I
yeah,
think
I
he
wrote that
seems
down too.
like,
Like,
I think
I
he's
felt
such a nice
so
man.
sad
Like
for
he
him.
seems so sweet,
Yeah.
but just he just gets so nervous.
Should we head
Oh,
into the round table?
uh, well,
Or,
there's a few
or,
things before we
or
get there. Don't you jump ahead, Sanjay.
wait, have I missed her? Sorry. See,
Just
me taking notes, I couldn't multitask because I was too in it, and I'm like, oh, what have I missed? Oh, literally, look, I have like a whole page of scribbles. Oh, you can't see
oh,
them,
I can't
but
see,
I've
but I
got
trust
scribbles.
you.
There you go.
Oh no, I see,
See,
I see.
I've got like a whole page of scribbles. But I was like, trying to multitask. I was like, oh, oh,
Yeah,
like,
it's
oh,
tough. I have to pause so much when I'm watching, which is why I'm never really watching it live. So sometimes I start the
yeah,
episode live, but I have to pause to do all my notes, and then sometimes people send me messages and they think I've seen, and I'm like, actually, I'm not finished. But um, what I was just a couple of things I was going to add in before the round table. Roxy really likes this theory that Ross is putting forward. It was one of the people in the library with me, or with Ben, because Roxy's really keen that James is a traitor. And James was one of the people in the room.
yeah,
So she's like, yes, yes, this helps prove that James is the traitor. This is what I think. And there's a shot of the library. Again, I don't know if you've noticed this, Sanjay. This is the third time I've noticed it, maybe even the fourth. They keep having a sort of close up on one of the books on the shelf. It's called Who's Who, 1934. And the previous episode of
yeah.
the, or episode 2 of the podcast, one of our incredible listeners looked up this book and found out that one of the people named in the book is a writer who wrote a novel called The Traitors. It's all crazy. Harriet tells Rachel in the library that if she still suspects Ross, that she'll back her up. And Rachel has voted for Ross both times so far. So
Mm,
and Fiona's there, and she's like, "Oh yes," like sort of egging this on a little bit. Um, Ellie's in the room, just sort of looking a bit uncertain, bit more
mm.
proof that there's something going on between Ellie and Ross.
The editing with them this episode, I was like,
Oh,
okay,
so many shots of Ellie, like
yeah.
reaction shots. Yeah,
I was like, oh, we've
definitely.
finally seen her. Okay, well, I know she's a person in the castle.
Yeah, I hope she gets a bit more screen
Yeah.
time
There's a
after
few people though
this.
that I feel like haven't had much screen time.
Yes,
And we
definitely.
also haven't had the
Oh,
sexy shower shots yet.
you're right. We've not had sexy shower
We've
shots. I hadn't
we've
even
not had them
noticed
like
that.
doing the yoga, doing their face masks, shaving.
Oh my
Like
goodness. I can't believe it. Right, we need that back. Right,
we
Studio
need those
Lambert, come
back.
on, bring that back for the next series.
Yeah, thank you.
Because there's some
Not
of
next
these
series, this season.
players.
This season.
If we saw some of these people in the shower, I don't think there would be complaints. I think lots of viewers would be quite happy. That's all I'm
I think
saying.
the viewership numbers would go higher.
Uh, we also see Reese having a little chat with Amanda and reckons they're going to get this banishment wrong because it's been sprung upon them.
Yeah.
They've not got time to think. Yes, Reese, you are correct. And Amanda names her top three suspects: Jade, Sam, Stephen, and says, "Don't mention this to anyone." And
Yeah, that was
Reese's
sus.
interest, yeah. Reese, interestingly though, says, "Yeah, I actually suspect
I
Stephen as
agree.
well. I
Yeah.
sit kind of opposite him at round table. He always looks so paranoid, and
Nervous. Yeah.
he's really quiet at the round table, but all the rest of
But
the
he's
time he's
very
very
chatty in there.
talkative."
Hmm.
So, but Reese, I think cleverly says, "Yeah, I don't think we can bring it up yet. We've not got enough votes or support. Let's just
Yeah.
keep that one on. Let's put a pin in that one." And he
Yeah.
says to us in an interview, he's like, "I'll be mind blown if Stephen isn't the traitor." And I wonder, Sanjay, is Reese our underrated like traitor hunter of the seas? Is he like the new Jazzatha Christie? Remember Jazz
Oh,
and how?
Jazz.
Oh, love Jazz.
He
He's
should have won.
should have
If
won.
you're
He's doing so
listening, Jazz, I'm
well.
a fan.
He's on the radio now. I follow him on Instagram. He was
Does he
just
follow
what a
you
hero.
back?
What a, I'm not sure. I'm going to pretend that he does, and just not look into it any further. Here we go then. It's time for the round table in the middle of the day. It's so weird. Claudia welcomes them and says, "As you can see from the timing, there's nothing predictable in this castle," and asks if lightning can strike twice, because of course they just caught a traitor last time. They caught Hugo. Here we go with the discussion. Faraz begins. Not heard that much of him. I was quite surprised that he wanted to speak up
Yeah.
first. He says he's going to vote for Sam again because he thought Sam has changed too much. He says, Sam, that first round table, you were so outspoken when you wanted to get Judy last time, though. You were much quieter.
Mm.
And he said, I think it's because you and Hugo are traitors together, and you didn't want to go after Hugo. But Sam just says, well, no, I just learned my lesson. I got Judy so wrong that I wanted to listen more carefully. And he says, I don't think I've displayed any traitorous behaviour anyway. But Matt joins in. Matt keeps going. He says, yeah, Sam, you had this conflict with Judy. We saw a little bit of in the kitchen when Judy sort of confronted him. So Matt's like, I can't get that out of my mind that you were so dead set against someone that we know is a faithful now. And
Mm.
then Stephen speaks up. Of course, we know Stephen's a traitor. And he says, look, the murder in plain sight type tasks are designed to give us clues. And he brings it all back round to Maz. But he makes, did you notice the mistake that Stephen makes? He has a little slip up that no one
Yeah.
seemed to notice.
Mm.
He says,
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself last night, sorry, this morning, and there's a shot of Rachel, like, uh-oh. Because it
Oh no.
suggested
What have
that
you said?
he went back to his room last night and thought up a plan that how he was going to excuse himself.
Mm.
So he realizes and he goes, I mean, this morning,
Yeah.
after we found out, I don't think anyone else noticed it, but I thought, oh God, Stephen, like, oh, it's like totally
Or
put his
was it
foot in it.
edited in?
Or maybe it was edited in. And do you mean what, like Rachel's reaction to it sort
Yeah.
of was edited in? Yeah, it might be. She might not even noticed it at all. That's very true. So Maz and Roxy then have to defend themselves, and they're like, "Well, here's where
Mm.
we were. Here's what we did. We didn't see anything on the picture." I think Stephen's gotten away with his slip up, but again, I don't know why Stephen's going so hard on Maz rather than Roxy when he's saying he saw both of them. I guess you've got to pick one. I don't know. So Maz then takes his turn to speak. He moves on to Jade, which is quite weird. He says that when she was questioned by Amanda at a previous roundtable, she got really defensive. She didn't explain herself properly.
I like Jade.
You like Jade?
Mm.
I like Jade. I like Jade's look. I like her cardigan. She's really
Mm.
clever. She's a gamer. Yeah, she seems very cool. I
She's
want her
also
to get
very
more screen time.
composed.
Yes, very. Maybe that's a
Like
bad
a lot of
thing.
them
Maybe
would get
people don't
very
like.
stressed, but she's very.
Looks very
And I'm like,
stoic.
yeah.
Maybe I can see why that might bother other players, or maybe other players want her to be more like sort of open and expressive. But yeah, I think she's very in the game. She's sort of trying to deduce things. Um,
hmm
whilst Maz is going for her, Amanda takes the chance to add something in and says, "Yeah, I think Hugo put me in the spotlight last night to protect you, Jade," and Adam sort of backs that up. Um, Jade defends herself a little bit, and we move on to Ross. I'm
They
covering my
move on really
face.
quick though to Roz.
We did. Yeah, maybe they cut out lots. Maybe this
True,
wasn't
because
as
these
abrupt
do
as it
go on for
seemed.
ages.
The impression I got, maybe it's wrong, is that Ross just sort of jumps in to start talking about how he's been set up, and I just was sort of screaming at the TV, Ross, no
Shut
one was
up.
talking about you. Stop doing this. Stop drawing attention to yourself.
Yeah. If
Maybe
he
they were.
didn't do that, I don't think they would have went to him.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe a lot was cut out. Maybe they were talking about Ross. I got the impression they weren't, and he just
Mm,
brought it up because he's so anxious. Um, like it, but the impression is they were actually talking about Jade and Amanda, and then he just came in to go, "Hey, by the way, some of you
mm.
think it's me, right?" And I'm like, "Stop it, Ross!"
And it's like, no, shut up.
And he reiterates his theory about the people in the room with Ben. They're the suspects. They're who we should be looking at. And Jessie, who was in the room, is sort of saying, "Oh, yeah, it was just. I don't know if she's defending Ross here or not." She says, yeah, it's just too much of a coincidence. I think she's defending Ross. I think she's saying, yeah, I think the traitor was in the
Come on,
room.
yeah.
And Ellie, interestingly, says, yeah, I was there. And the only thing I don't know is whether that information stayed in the room. Like I said earlier, maybe the people in the room went off and told others. So maybe I
Mm,
don't, maybe it was all faithful. So I think Ellie's trying to protect Ross, but not. I don't know. I think, well, not protect Ross because she's doing the. I think she's just trying to be very diplomatic and like calm
yeah.
things down a bit. Um,
And get the heat off him.
Yeah, and Stephen that does say, "Oh well, it's not like." I don't know why Stephen's protecting Ross. He says, "Yeah, it's not like that was the only time." Oh, he's trying to protect himself. Sorry.
Yeah,
He
because
says
he's
it's
in
not
the
like that
room.
was the only time Ben had mentioned your name. Didn't have to be in that room. Ben was probably mentioning you to various people at different times. Stephen's just trying to be like, "It wasn't me, it wasn't me. I know I was in that room, but it wasn't me." And
Yeah, he ain't
Ross,
doing himself any favors.
no, Ross asks James, "Well, by the way, why didn't you talk to other people about it after you were in the room? Because usually you never stop talking. You're always going on about
Mm,
your theories and spreading things around." And James is just like, "I'm not ruling out the fact that you're a traitor." Um, and he's like, "I'm being played by someone." Well, obviously, James, there are traitors. And he goes on, this is James, goes on to his Reese theory. Reese, he talked about this at breakfast when he did his speech. He says, "Reese, you grilled me last night at the round table, but then you said you didn't think I was a traitor. Why would anyone grill someone at the round table if they don't think they're a traitor?" And James he says, "Either you're trying to frame me because you can see I'm on the ropes, or you're a traitor." And Reese just sort of like apologizes, and he's like, "Oh, he doesn't really say very much. There's not much of a defense here. I feel so bad for Reese. Maybe he waffled a lot and they've cut it out. I don't know."
mm.
Um, Jack talks here, and I realize, like you said, I know nothing about this man. Like, I know he's very handsome,
What
but I'm
one's
like,
Jack again?
he's got glasses, he's got earrings, he's got curly
Oh yeah,
hair,
he's been
he's a
very
personal
again no
trainer.
screen time.
No screen time. What do we know about
Yes,
Jack? Other than that he got milked in the task by Faraz as a cow. That's all I know.
hmm.
And that's okay that I know that. But um yeah,
It's like, who are you? What do you do?
I don't exactly.
But then going
Um
back to Ross, I
yes.
feel like he was dealt a bad hand because of Rachel. She worded
Oh
that so
she
well,
oh
and
she
he
really
got
traps him.
thrown. Just when she's
Yeah.
like, What was the atmosphere? Or was it like atmosphere in the turret last night?" He's like, "The what? Uh-huh." And
I love
I
your
saw a
Rachel.
TikTok. What? The turret? What was the atmosphere in the turret like last night? And I watched a TikTok today, right, of a woman in London. She's like, "Hun, help me out here. First time watching." Even I'd be like, "What's a turret?" She's like, "What is a turret? What's a turret?" I don't know that word. What's a turret? And I was like, that is true. It's a tower. But like, if you don't know what a turret is, you're going to be confused. And poor Ross
I,
just was like, "Sorry, I don't know what you mean. Sorry, what do you
I
mean?"
well,
He's like, "The
I
turret.
guess they all
The
just
turret last
assume
night.
they've
You know,
watched
with
the
the
show
Traitors Club."
before. Yeah, she says, "Was Hugo this dramatic in the turret?" And Ross is just like,
Yeah,
well,
was Hugo this
there's
dramatic in the turret?
one of my favorite like gifs is this cat that just goes, "Huh?" Like, and it just like does this little like so when Ross just makes me think of the "Huh" cat here,
Huh?
because and she's like, "The turret was Hugo this dramatic in the turret?" And yeah, he's just like,
Yeah,
"What
but
turret?"
she's like,
And
he's
then
like
Rachel's just
looking
going,
like, and it's just because she's just kept the same face. She's like, was Hugo this dramatic in the turret? And he's like, sorry, the what? What's that?
Oh, poor
So I did feel
Ross.
sorry for him because even me, I'd be like, wait, where were you last night? The turnip? What?
It's, I mean, it's very clever of Rachel. Like, this is really
Yeah,
smart.
because I want to
She's
win. I want to
playing
be
like
the
she's a
last standing
faithful.
traitor.
She's got him on the ropes. She's like, "Oh, guys, I've just caught him for you."
She's like, I
And then
got him.
later
I'm
on, she
traitor
can
harder.
pretend, "Oh God, I got it all
Yeah.
wrong. I'm so sorry." But I think this is a very smart thing of Rachel to do because it's just such a great way to confuse anyone and make them be like, What do you mean?" And whatever the reaction is, you could say, "Oh, that's a really suspicious reaction." Like, I mean, all he could have done is just immediately go, oh, I see what you're doing. I know you're trying to trap me. You're trying to make me to admit something. I've
But
never
instead,
been in the
he's
turret, I'm
like,
not a
sorry,
traitor."
what? Huh?
But instead, he's just like, "What? What do you mean?" So it
That
all
was
goes
such a
wrong.
good move, though, from Rachel.
It was very clever. Harriet comes for Ross too. Again, she talks about how he used the word plan at breakfast when he talked about when he saw Nettie for the first time, and she doesn't like that he used the word
That
plan.
I'm so intrigued by that, though. So he didn't know Nettie was going to be there, but they said they're through, a mutual friend. Was that mutual friend Ellie then? Was Nettie friends with Ellie? Like, it's such an interesting one. And I do think he was dealt a bad hand, but then he also was like, oh, My plan was not to speak to her. Mate, you're in a castle together, and you've got a bubbly wee woman here who's like, "Oh, that ain't gonna stay silent." Do you know what I mean?
No,
Like,
he couldn't do anything about it. I wonder if he meant. I wonder if he and Ellie's plan was to act like they don't know each other. So when he was saying, "Oh, I planned to," he was kind of thinking about Ellie, and that's maybe why that word came out of his mouth. I don't
and
know.
then Nettie appeared.
And then Nettie
Is
appeared.
Nettie an ex? I'm just so intrigued.
Well, that's what some people are saying. I mean, I don't know. She talked about this on Uncloaked. She said they played basketball together, and so they
Mm.
had a mutual friend that was a basketball coach.
But then she also said you'll never forget a face or a body like
Well,
that.
oh, Nettie.
Mm.
Oh, who knows, right? Okay. Wait,
I
Nettie?
just want to know what Nettie's
Basketball?
doing.
Did she just make
What?
up the basketball thing because it's got her name's got the word net in it, and she just like it was the first thing that came to mind.
No, she would have went with netball.
She would have went with netball.
Yeah,
Okay, so
I'm Nettie and I play netball. Hi, Nettie. I'm Sanjay and
uh,
I play soccer.
justice for Nettie. She gone too soon. I think she could
Like,
have been so
yeah,
much
it's
fun.
so annoying when like the bubbly ones always get
I
kicked
know.
out first.
I know. The lesson here is Ross, stop using the word plan. Just stop saying it. And yeah, Reese talks a bit about it
And know
too,
what a turret is.
and know what a turret is. Just be like, oh yeah, the
Yeah.
turret. Yeah, no, I wasn't there.
Read your traitor
Um,
dictionary before you go in.
maybe if he comes back for All Stars, he can play
Like,
differently.
what are the
Uh,
words, right? Let us play a quick game here, right?
okay.
So we've never seen the traitors.
hmm
What are the words that you should know? So turret, traitor
Turret,
faithful, round
murder,
table,
banishment,
challenge, murder, banishment, um,
shield,
shield, let's get 10. Claudia and
oh,
um,
100% faithful. You have to say it all the
Hundy.
time. I'm a Hundy. I'm a
I'm a
100%.
Hundy.
I'm a Hundy.
Okay, there we got
Uh,
10. Know
there
those
we go.
words,
Need
folks.
to
If
know
you're
those
listening,
words.
if you're applying,
Come
you
on,
need to know all
Ross.
those folks. And then the
Uh,
one number 11 would be breakfast
very important.
because you don't know what's happening.
And I know again, like you mentioned, throughout all of this Ross questioning, there's just all of these shots of Ellie just sort of like just looking really
Which
awkward
hadn't
and
happened any
uncomfortable.
other episode.
Yeah, I think they
Like
were
this
leading
was
us. They were
edited.
leading us to it.
Yeah.
And Claudia closes the discussion. It's time to vote. It felt like there was a lot at that round table. I'll go through
Yeah.
the votes because it looked like I didn't. I
I thought it
thought
was going to
Ross
be
was
Reese.
probably
I
going to
think it was,
go.
well, I
Okay,
thought he would have been saved. And then it was the last few. I was like, oh,
yeah, it all went wrong right
yep,
towards the end. It was very close. So Stephen begins. Stephen votes for Maz because that's his
of
fake
course.
theory. I saw you at the picture. Ellie and Jack both vote for Reese. Now we know, of course, Ellie would probably have never voted for Ross. Amanda votes for Jade again. Amanda, I love you, but you need to move on. Stop voting for
Yeah,
Jade.
you need to leave Jade alone.
Leave Jade behind.
She's
Uh,
just doing her thing.
James and Sam both voted for Reese, and I was a bit. I just
Mm.
didn't see. I was like, where are all these votes for Reese coming from? I was
Yeah,
quite
what did he
shocked
do?
actually. What did poor Reese do other than I don't know talk
Cry.
about a shield lots in the mission that time? And poor Reese. Matthew votes for Sam. Jesse
Yep.
votes for Reese. And then Reese, Harriet, and Rachel all vote for Ross. So I think Claudia does a vote count. Reese has 5, Ross has 3, a few other people have 1. Ross goes next, votes for Stephen. Jade votes for Ross because of his behaviour when
Yeah.
he answered Rachel's question, like the turret. I mean, nah, it's not his fault. He just didn't know what to say there. He was thrown. Come on, give him a break. Maz votes for Jade and just says, "Jade, it's you." Like so certain, 100%. Jade, it's you. It's not Maz. Fiona votes for Ross. Adam votes for Jade. Faraz votes for Sam, which means it's a tie and there's one vote left. Reese has 5. Ross has 5. Roxy's got the decider. I wondered if she was going to go for James because she's on, and
I,
it's going to then be a revote. But no,
I didn't think she was going to go for Ross.
I
I sat
know
there
she,
going, it's not going to be Ross.
and it was Ross. She voted for
And I felt
Ross.
sorry for Ross.
I felt bad. There's another reaction shot from Ellie. She knows that he's going.
She's
Um,
like, nah, I'm
and
done.
I'm going to talk about this more in the bonus episode after this, where we look at all the listener questions and answers and things. But I cannot help but notice it's another person who's not a white man. Like, I just thought, it's episode 4, and another person of color's
Yeah.
out. Come on, guys.
And there's not even many left. There's
Yeah.
only Faraz, Maz, and Roxy,
Yeah. So,
which makes you kind
uh,
of sad.
yes, me too. So Ross does his speech with lots more Ellie shots cut in. He says, and I think Ross actually was like he was trying not to
Uh-huh.
cry again. Like he
Yeah.
seems so sweet.
But I have a question.
Okay.
Why did he flick up his collar?
I think he was tricking them, like he was going to be like, I'm a traitor. Like he was making them think he was going to change behavior and be like,
Well, he
haha, I
didn't
was a
do it that well.
no.
I was like, come on, what? Give us like
I don't
something.
know.
But he went,
It was
it's cool.
quite sort of, it was quite Danny Zuko. It
Yeah.
was like giving me grease. He says, this has actually been fun. It's been lovely to meet you all. I've made lifetime friends and more. And he says, I've got a real bad hand. I think you'd all agree. I have always been
Yeah.
a faithful. Amanda says, I
Dun,
told
dun, dun,
you.
dun, dun.
Ellie's saying, I knew it. Roxy's gutted. She can't believe she voted
She's
for
like, I'm
him, sent him
sorry, I'm
home.
sorry.
And Claudia tells them it's only going to get worse because one of the 9 of you on trial will be
I got it
murdered.
done.
Shortly, a mission. If this round table rattled your cages, this is nothing. Um, and so we've still got a whole mission to go. This is so weird. Ellie then gives us the reveal that for me was not really a reveal anymore. I thought it was pretty obvious. She says, the traitors have framed Ross. I'm really sad to see him go, especially because Ross is actually my boyfriend.
Yeah.
Flashback, all those moments, they were together. Oh my goodness. And she wants to avenge his death. Come on, Ellie. He's not
She'll be
dead,
dead
but
soon.
she, yeah, she'll be murdered next. Well, she can't after the next one.
I'm gonna say episode 7.
Episode 7, she's gone. Uh,
Yeah.
we get some time around the castle before the mission. Jessie, she's on her own. She goes to the room with all the portraits, and she's going, "Oh, Ross, mate, you were stitched up. It's Stephen. It's Stephen. Oh, here they all come to chat a load of bollocks." She's really caught up. She's not having it. In the kitchen, Rachel's pretending she feels so bad. Oh my God, I was going after Ross this whole time, but she knows the truth. And then Reese gets upset because he got all those votes. God love him. He's taking it to heart. And some of the other players are saying, "Look, it's not. It's just a game." And I think Harriet says, "It's this isn't a personal attack. It's just that's not why we're voting for you. And actually, the way that you're acting now makes me feel like I'm not suspicious of you. I feel like this is really someone who's genuinely upset because they feel that they've been targeted." Um, so yeah, I feel that this is James's fault. Down with James,
So,
I say.
so
James
if you
is.
go on this show, you just need to cry.
You do need to cry because then people go, "Oh God, you can't
Not
be a traitor."
me. I'm not a
I'd be crying every day at breakfast
Yeah.
every day. I'd be like, "Oh."
But I'd need to sing
Um,
Shirley Bassey before I cry because that's what helps me to cry. If I sing Shirley Bassey, I who have nothing in a low voice, tears come.
that's very specific, but if that's your
Yeah,
method, Sanjay,
I know.
you know what you're doing. You're the professional.
I could do it for you in the post podcast.
Oh, okay, I can't wait.
But that is
Uh,
how genuinely I would need to sing Shirley Bassey in the toilet and I'd be like, I'm not a traitor.
oh God, oh, I don't ever want to see that. It'd be so sad. We've got Stephen talking a bit more about the portrait, and he's saying, "I can't believe more people didn't vote like me and go for Maz. I told you all. I saw him there." And we get
Mm.
a little bit in the billiards room before the mission. It's Jesse, James, Matt, Fiona. Jessie's trying to get them on the Stephen train. She's like, "Come on, it's Stephen. He was in that room with Ben," and so on. Matt's not convinced. And James, I think, is a little bit patronising here. He's like, "No, no, no, Jessie. No, it's been proven Ross was framed. Proven. Surely you can see that." And I was like, well, if this doesn't make sense. James is contradicting himself. If James is saying Ross has been framed, and I'm like,
You
yeah,
voted
he's
for
been
him.
framed. That proves that Jesse's right. That it was a
Yeah,
traitor who framed him.
yeah.
So maybe James and Jesse are brother and sister, and that's why they can talk to each other like this. I don't know. Jesse's
Oh,
begging them to see it. She's like, "Oh, come on, it is Stephen. Please, please, please." And I'm gonna sometimes, Sanjay, I play the cliche klaxon on the podcast, and it's because sometimes when a player says something that's a cliche in the traitors, we have to recognize it. Because Jesse says, If I aren't here another day, please look at that room. I think that's Jesse's accent. Please look at that room. Look at the people who are in that room.
Yeah, you got that. Yeah,
So
good accent, that.
if I'm murdered, that's who it is. It's one of the people in that room. Um,
I
so
really like her. I think she's such a lovely energy.
she's
And
very
I think,
sweet.
yeah, whenever she's like in the room saying her bit, I'm like, what you? Because you're saying the
Yeah,
truth. It
yeah.
is
Go you,
Stephen, get him
Jesse.
out.
Yes, I know. I'm on the Jessie train. I like her. It's time for the mission. We're in the cars on the way there. They're wondering, has a traitor put themselves on death row? We arrive at the
They
forest.
have.
The druid figures carry the
It's
cages.
creepy.
I
It's,
was very creepy. It's giving horror movie.
yeah. And
There's
especially the
a,
person that comes back later, which at the end of the task, that was terrifying. I was
I'm
like,
not,
the person with the axe. I'm like,
yeah. Kids
somebody's there
watching
in the
this?
dark. Yeah.
Hey, parents, watch out. And the players are
Yeah,
freaked
your
out.
child might come after you. Dressed
There's
as
a
a
Brit
druid.
there's a British film called Kill List. It came out years ago, and there's a scene in that film. If anyone's seen it, it very much reminded me, or this reminded me of that. The mission is here's what they have to do. Um, they've just done a something like this on the Traitors Ireland. That's not a
Oh, I've
spoiler, I
not
don't
seen that
think.
one.
The death they did the exact same mission basically. The death row nine have to go into cages. The remaining players have to pair up with someone whose life they want to fight for, but that does mean that one person will be left out, so someone is going to be on death row no matter what. Here's the pairings. Matthew goes with Faraz. Harriet goes with James. I was quite surprised at that. Jesse goes with Jack. Rachel goes with Amanda.
Mm.
I think that she's created, or she thinks that
Oh,
she's created a good alliance here. Fiona's a bit
yeah.
confused by it. Roxy goes with Stephen.
Yes.
Ellie goes with Jade. Fiona goes with Reese, which ends up being hilarious. And Adam has the choice Sam or Maz. Chooses Maz, which means Sam is definitely up for murder later tonight.
Mm.
The druids carry the cages off into the forest. The players have got 30 minutes to search for hidden skulls. If they can find 10 and stack them up beside their partner, they'll be freed. The first 5 players to do it are safe and they'll add £2,000 to the prize fund, but the remaining players will stay there in the forest to find out their fate later tonight.
Can I
I
just
Yes.
say also, the skulls made me laugh because at Summer Hall during Fringe, they
Mm,
used to do the Lustrum Awards. I don't know if you ever saw these awards, but the Lustrum Awards was those skulls that they had in
mm,
Traitors, basically that. So remember I supervised at Summer Hall during the
yeah,
Fringe.
yeah.
So the owner, I'm pretty sure it was the owner of Summer Hall, knew someone who was into what's that thing called when you stuff dead people? Not dead people, dead animals. What's that called?
Taxidermy.
Yes. So he knew people that were into like taxidermy and that. So I always laughed when you saw artists get the Lustrum Award and it was like a plaque with like a dead ram's head on it.
Oh,
Um,
lovely.
but that's what this reminded me of. And I was like, wonder if they've got the same dealer because that was a lot of skulls.
Yes, where did they get these?
Yeah,
That's
how
worrying.
many deers are dying a year?
I don't know. If you ever win one of those awards, which may well happen, Sanjay, because you are
No,
winning awards left, right, and centre, then you need to bring
they
it on the pod.
changed them. They made them into
Oh,
like an actual plaque,
for
which I'm not
goodness
gonna
sake.
lie. Could you imagine having a deer head on your wall? I won this award. What
It'd be a
for?
talking
My
point.
show? It would be. But
Yeah.
no, that's what that reminded me of. And I was like, where did they get these from?
Yeah, no idea where they're sourcing these skulls from. Maybe they're fake. I think they're not fake. I think they're real, which
I
is
think they
sad.
really will. But it was
Uh,
such a creepy task.
it was a strange one. I've just picked out some of my highlights from the mission. Well, we've got Adam in full on sort of Cockney mode again. We're running through the swamp. We got flies trying to invade me personal space. Now I've got to go and find 10 skulls and balance them on top of each other. I love Adam's voice. Matt, because Matt's hench, he just carries like 10 skulls all at the same time. He's just got them
Yeah,
all.
done.
Doesn't need to do back and forth. And some players are just, something like Matt carries them all back, piles them up one by one. Some players, like Rachel, just shove the skulls in the cages and then they're like, I'll come back later and pile them up. I don't know if that's the right thing. Fiona's just on a
Nobody
day
knows where
trip.
she went.
she's gone. Claudia,
I
we
lo
don't
I
know.
love
Is she
that
still
it got to
here?
that, but I love it got to the point where Fiona, even Reese is like, take them from Fiona,
Is it
just
just
take
give
whatever
them
she's
away?
got. Like I'm not gonna get, and like I was like, oh, that's a shame. He's like,
Yeah.
that's fine. I'm
And
getting
she just
murdered.
goes along with it. She's just like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there you go. Just two for you. I made an Italian now.
She's Italian, taking the skull.
But
Sorry,
it's
Italian
just when
people.
Claudia's like, can someone send a cab for Fiona? I find that hilarious because I was like, a poor wee woman.
Yeah, what's she doing? I mean, I don't know
Does
if
she
it's.
know what the task is? Did
I
she know
don't
what
know
she
if
had to do?
she implies later on like it's deliberate and she kind of wanted Reese to not be success. I don't know, but it's very
I mean, good
strange.
tactics, but then it puts a target on you for being a traitor.
I think she's just like having a great time. She doesn't really
And
care
she's
about the
loving life.
task.
She's like, I'm in the woods. I feel like I'm at home.
Like maybe she didn't know there was a time limit, so she
No,
was like,
maybe.
"Oh, I'll be back later, guys. See you in an
Yeah.
hour. See you in a couple of hours. I'm gonna have a
Here, I'm not
picnic."
going to lie though. I think I'd be like Fiona because it's such a picturesque area up there. Even I'd be like, oh, there's a squirrel.
Yeah,
Oh,
distracted
do you know what I
easily.
mean? Just
Sure,
became Rachel.
I can see.
So yeah, I thought it was hilarious when she's just wandering about and everybody else is like
Yeah, yeah.
placing things up.
Gone mad. She's having a great time. So here, in the end of the mission, here's the order. Matthew frees Faraz first. Jesse frees Jack. Ellie frees Jade. Harriet frees James. And then it seems like there's a close race. There's skulls falling. They're starting over again. Rachel eventually frees Amanda. They bank £10,000. And the players up for murder who are left in the cages are Stephen, obviously. He wasn't really in the task. Poor Stephen. Sorry. I meant Sam. Sam. And then Stephen, Reese, and Maz are the others who don't, win in the end. So now it's worse for Stephen. He was panicking earlier. I didn't think it was that bad because there were like 9 people, and I thought, well, you can kind of just blend down Stephen. Now he's a traitor and he's still on death row.
Mm.
And Claudia reveals that the murder will happen face to face.
I
Fiona
was
just
really
tells us
intrigued because I was
it's a
like,
gift.
how?
At least they get to know going home who the traitor. I can't do a Welsh accent. It's terrible. She says at least they get to go home knowing who the traitors are. Lol. They all say their goodbyes. They might not see each other tomorrow. Oh, this is awful. Off they go. And Reese says this funny thing about Fiona, even though she's just totally screwed him over. He says, I literally worship her like she's my mum. And yet online people are speculating. Was he giving us a
Hmm.
little clue? He worships her
Hmm.
like a mum because she is his mum. I mean, I don't know if I buy. Maybe she's his auntie. I can see that. Auntie Fiona.
Fiona, is he your son? Can you just like write into us? Thank you.
Send us a voice note, Fiona.
Thank
We'll
you.
find out. So
I don't think they are
Stephen.
related. Because why would you do that to our son? If it's your
Ah,
son,
right.
you'd be
That's my
wanting to,
thing.
you'd be like racing out there. Even like if it was me and I had my dodgy knees, I'd be like, no, I'm gonna go help him.
Yes,
Um,
I feel
unless
that
she
way.
doesn't like him. Unless they're like, unless they're
Mother and
like
son estranged,
estranged.
and they hate each other.
Oh,
Oh, I hope not. No, Fiona could never. Fiona wouldn't do
that
that.
would
She
be
couldn't hate
hilarious. Could you
Reese.
imagine? There's
Oh,
Nettie, and then there's like mother
it's
and
like
son that
Jeremy
hate each other.
Kyle. Oh God. Unless Fiona. What? No, it just doesn't make sense. And she even says in the car on the way back to the castle, well, if Reese comes back tomorrow, I think he's a traitor. So I think I don't believe he's her son, and she's put him on murder death row, and now planted the seed that he might be a traitor. I can't see a mum do that to her son on the show. Like, why would you be
That would be so bad.
like, gunning to get your son out? It doesn't add up. I don't get it. I'm
She
sorry.
wants the money for herself.
Well, maybe it is some sort of horrible fractious relationship. It could be. It could be. Not Reese. Not my Reese. So Amanda is in another car. She says she thinks Reese only voices his opinions at the round table once he's heard what everyone else thinks. I don't know.
That's Stephen.
I feel like Reese has kind of got
Yeah,
he's always got quite a different opinion for everyone else. I don't know if I'm seeing that. And
yeah.
Jessie's in another car. She's still on Stephen. She thinks he's put himself on death row. She's
Mm.
correct.
I think
And
he regretted Roxy going for him. I think he
oh,
also regretted putting himself up because I am
yes,
so
yes.
intrigued now how. So there's four of them. One of them's a traitor. One of them's going to be murdered. But does that mean one by one, two will get released, then Stephen will get released, then the last one's left, and then Stephen will come back? I'm so intrigued
Uh,
how it's going to work.
yeah.
Or do all four of them see the traitors?
I off
But
that can't
the
work.
other two are
Yeah.
bound by silence.
I don't think they'll
Because
do
if they
that.
say anything, they'll be murdered instantly.
I think they will take
Go
the
first.
two away one by one. Like, you're
Yeah,
safe, back to the castle. You're safe, back to the castle. Stephen and whoever, it's you two. And either Stephen leaves and they pretend he's safe and then he comes back with his cloak,
yeah.
or they'll do like a two traitors appear and then Stephen turns around and says, I'm a traitor. I'm not going to be murdered because I'm a traitor, and whoever's left.
Dun,
That's something like
dun,
that.
dun, 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 dun,
It's.
dun, dun, dun,
I'm
dun.
looking forward to it. Uh,
Yeah,
we've
because that's
got
where we left it with the evil man with the axe.
yes,
That was really eerie. I'm sorry.
another creepy end.
Yeah.
We get a wee bit more reality time in the castle before the night's over.
Mm,
We've got Ellie talking about how suggestive Amanda is, and James and Adam are sort of support this. Fiona's in the room. I wonder if she's going to use that against Amanda later. Ellie also talks about Harriet voting for Ross and how last minute it was. She's like, that's really strange that Harriet went for Ross. And Fiona's like, yes, yes, I think it's because Rachel made her do it. So
yeah. So she threw her under the
Fiona's
bus.
and she says in her interview, her Miv, she says, "Well, Rachel's got a lot to prove to me." I thought, I
Yeah, and I was
love
like, oh,
Fiona's like,
okay.
I'm the head traitor, and those other traitors will be proving
Yeah, I
themselves
love
to me.
that.
Uh,
She had her own turret, and now she's like, I'm in charge. It's me.
it's Italian me. Uh,
Yeah, it's Italian, Fiona.
although she does, I will say, Fiona does then go straight to Rachel and Amanda to tell them, oh, by the way, here's what we were all talking about in that other
Yeah,
room. So Amanda, and the chat is, we think Amanda's very influential. So Amanda's sort of like, well, I don't know how not to be that. I really am trying hard not to
yeah.
be a
She's like,
sort
I'm
of
trying to be a
natural
charity shop
leader.
worker.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
And she's like, I don't know
and
how to
Fiona,
be.
yeah, she's been like a police detective for years. It's tough for her not to be that. And if Fiona and Rachel also then have this weird fake conversation about Harriet and the Ross vote, and
Mm,
basically Rachel realizes, oh, Fiona is acting a bit shifty. She might be a threat. She could well easily turn on me and Stephen if she feels
yeah,
like it. This might not be good. Uh,
I think
to
they're all shitting themselves.
Yeah, it's bad things may happen between these three traitors, I feel. We head to the turret to end the episode. Claudia reminds us, yes, the players are in the woods awaiting their fate. Fiona and Rachel arrive in the
Oh.
turret. Fiona is tiny, and Fiona tells Rachel that they need to be playing the same game and spend
And
time
I don't think they
together.
will.
No, she's pretending, oh, we've got to make sure we're on the same page. You and me need to get to know each other.
Yeah,
And of course, Stephen's not there because Stephen's in a cage. They're worried about him.
which
Is
I
this going
think
to
is
bring him
so
heat?
interesting that he's
Uh,
not there.
yeah,
Do you know what I
they're going to
mean?
have to make this decision without him. They're going to just have to guess what does he
Because
want
they
this to do?
could, because they could really mess up his game,
Yeah,
and they
they
could
could.
kick out Maz, and then it could be like, well, you voted for Maz, you were after him. So they could really, if the two of them wanted to make their own game, they could get rid of Steve Maz, and
They
then it'll
could.
get pinned on Steven. And
Yeah.
then Ellie will be like, I told you it was Steven. I don't know where I went with that. I've gone
I
everywhere.
no, I was great. I actually thought Fiona had joined the call there because that was a really good one.
My name is Fiona. No, I think I would really enjoy it if they did kill Maz. Not that way, because I'd be sad because it'd be the fourth person of color killed.
Yeah,
But I think for the game, for those two, it would really give them an advantage. Then be like, well, Stephen, you actually went after Maz.
they could.
Do you remember?
Although, here's what I would. They do talk about this. They say they go through their options and they say, well, Maz, yeah, Stephen voted for Maz at the round table. Would that reflect badly on Stephen? But my
Yeah,
question is this: why why would Stephen vote to banish Maz and then murder him? I don't know what's the logic there. Like, why would Stephen want to do that?
maybe there's no logic. Maybe it's
Like,
panic.
like if I was Stephen and that got pinned on me, I'd just be like, why would I vote for him? Because I think,
Yeah,
and then murder him. Like, what would I? Why would I be desperate to get Maz out of the game if I was a traitor? I
yeah.
don't know. They talk about
So
Sam.
who do you think it will
Well,
be?
I do have a prediction, which I'm going to come to
Ooh.
in a few moments. We talk about Sam. They say that well, Fiona thinks he's more dangerous. She says he's very astute, and the way that he
Yeah.
went after Judy at the first round table has made him maybe play a bit more carefully now. That could be dangerous. They talk about Reese, and Rachel says, well, he got so upset after the round table. Actually, that swayed some people away from him, and actually they think he's sort of redeemed himself. And Fiona claims, she's like, Rachel, you make the decision. I'm happy to let you do it. I think
I've been
Fiona's
making
just sort of playing
decisions for a
Rachel.
while.
And Rachel says to us, well, we really had to think about how we could help Stephen with this one. Cut to the executioners in the woods with their axes, and Reese saying, if I survive tonight, I'm gonna come in all guns blazing tomorrow.
Dun dun dun.
My predictions. I think because the episode ended with Reese and with that voiceover, he will come back tomorrow. I think they've included that so that we can see what's Reese going to do next. So I don't think Reese will be
Mm,
murdered. I think it's Sam that's going.
um,
I, I,
yeah.
I'd be. I don't want them to get rid of, like you said, the fourth person of color. Like get rid of Maz. I think I think they'll think Sam's playing a bit more quietly now. He's very clever. What if he catches on to us? He's dangerous. I think maybe they'll just think hasn't shown that he's like a really keen player yet. So like he's maybe not that much to
Mm,
worry about. He's not really going to harm them. I think it's
yeah.
Sam. I think Sam's going. What do you think?
I think it's Sam, but then I also think they could mess it up for Stephen for their own gain and could throw Mads under the
And go for
bus.
Maz. Okay, okay.
Yeah, which I'd be sad about.
Yes.
But then if they got rid of Maz, they might get a video of Faraz going, "That's me, Dad, and I'm going to avenge his death." But I don't want
Could
that to
be.
happen, so they got rid of my dad. I'm going to help them. I don't know where they're from, but there you
The
go.
the impressions are uncanny. Uh,
You're welcome.
what about looking forward to the next banishment? Who is going to be banished next?
I think it'll be a surprise.
Oh, okay, a shock.
I think
Uh,
it'll be a woman
oh, right.
because
Uh,
we've not had a woman banished for a while. It was only Judy and Ross and Hugo.
yeah, so yeah,
So
Judy
I
right at the
think
start.
they'll go after a woman. They'll either go after Amanda or
Yeah.
Jade,
Oh,
or
okay.
they might go after Roxy. Because if Maz then gets killed, they'll then be like, well, who else was at the photo? Steven, you said
Oh,
someone else at the photo. It was Roxy. So they might go after Roxy.
could be.
So, but I do think a woman would get banished next.
I like your thinking. I had a short list. I thought maybe Reese or Amanda or Stephen, but I will go with Amanda. Maybe they will swing back to looking at the women. I'll go Amanda. That's my guess. We are not quite finished yet. We have got our reveal of the traitor, because I think you may have lied to me at some point. Before we move to that, Sanjay, I mentioned at the start that you're taking your wonderful show on a little bit of a tour. Can you tell us more about Love Me Like a Chai Tea Latte and just generally, where can we find you online?
Yeah, so excitingly, I'm starting off 2026 by booking two wee venues. So I am taking Love Me Like a Chai Tea Latte, which is a show all about trying to find love when you are gay and brown, like me. And it's like a
What?
semi-autobiographical show. Yeah, sorry, I'm gay and brown, in
Gay?
case you didn't know. Gay. And after having a successful fringe, I am going to Colchester Arts Centre on the 8th of April, and then I'm going to Norwich Theatre on the 9th of April, and hopefully more bookings through the year. But no, I've got two wee venues happening in April, and you can find me on social media. I am on what's it called? I'm on
Instagram?
Instagram at Sanjay Lago, and I'm also on the TikTok, just Sanjay Lago or the actor Sanj.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Um,
and I'm also
are
on the Blue
tickets
Sky.
available for your shows?
They will be going on sale soon, by the end of the week, either tomorrow or Monday.
Okay, so
Colchester will go
people
on sale. So keep
they
an
need
eye
to
out.
follow
I'll share
you.
them with Matt.
Okay,
Yes,
they need
give
to
me a
follow you
follow.
online. And I interrupted you. I'm so sorry. You were going to tell us somewhere else you were online, other than Instagram. Are
I'm on
you
the
somewhere?
Blue Sky.
Oh, Blue Sky. Okay,
I still
Blue
don't know how to
Sky.
use it, but I'm on there.
You're on it. What's your
I'm on it.
username on Blue Sky?
Just Sanjay,
Do you
Sanjay
want me to find
Lago.
it?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Yeah,
I'll
but
find
no, I'm
it.
really excited because the show I wrote as a joke, and now the last 18 months has been on such a journey. So to finally get a wee tour has been fab, and I'm really excited. You've seen the show, haven't you?
I've seen it twice at least. Yes,
You
and it's
saw
great
it,
fun.
so you didn't see Fringe.
No, I wasn't at Fringe for the first time this year in about
Because it
12 years or something, which is
because it
very
changed
strange.
from Soho again.
Oh, okay, right. So it's
So,
slightly
but
new. There's
no, I'm really
changes.
excited for it, and I am so grateful to people like you, Matt, who have been there to support me through the last few years. So, icon, yes, you are.
Oh, thank you very much. And as for, I'll put all the links to Sanjay's socials in the episode description so you can find Sanjay very easily. As for the podcast, to make sure that you're up to date with what we're doing and Traitors news, updates, occasionally little videos from me, you can follow on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at the Trader Podcast. I've got this mission to get to 1,000 followers on Instagram so I can do live videos. Almost there. Thank you so much to everybody who has followed in the past week or so. It's really wonderful to have that support, and all the new people who are following on YouTube as well. I really really appreciate it. You can send me all of your questions and thoughts there for us to discuss, which we'll be doing right after this. And you can email me at thetradeartpodcast@gmail.com. You can leave a voice note so we can hear your lovely voice on the pod at memo.fm/thetradeartpodcast. I have one or two of those voice notes in the next episode. And of course, whenever you're listening, if you can subscribe or leave a nice star rating, it's great. I always say that. And then I sort of don't always check up on them. I was looking at Spotify, and the pod is almost at 200 ratings on Spotify now. So thank you so much to
Woo!
all the people who have gone ahead and left a little star rating. That's really fantastic. Thank you. You can support the pod and show off your love for the Traitors and the Trader by acquiring some podcast merch at thetrader.redbubble.com. I am not wearing my Trader t-shirt today. I am wearing a t-shirt with a skull on it in the Trader's Cup, which I just felt was sort of, thematically on brand. But I do have a Trader t-shirt I'll wear another time. It's too hot today to wear my... I know it's freezing outside, but my Trader hoodie, it's a warm... I'm in a warm house, so it just wasn't the day for this. But
You're a
there are
secret
hoodies and all sorts.
traitor.
Maybe I should. Maybe you could get them in red. Maybe I should do a red one, a special edition
Dun,
Secret Traitor
dun,
one.
dun, dun, dun,
Uh,
dun, dun, dun,
you
dun.
you can also contribute on coffee.com if you just wanted to put in a wee donation, just a one-off if you felt like it, at ko-fi.com/Matthew Keeley. And thank you so much. A few
Okay.
people have done that in the last few days. Thank you to Andrea, who put in a coffee.com donation and said, "Love the Trader podcast, such a great companion on my commute to work." Thank you. Thanks, Andrea.
Woo!
Louise said, "I love the Trader podcast so much. I was late to UK Traitors, and the celebrity version was the first I watched live. I've now watched
Oh
all
wow.
UK seasons, as well as both Australia and New Zealand. Thank you for everything you do with the podcast. It really brightens my day." That's really sweet. Thank you so much, Louise.
Oh,
Uh, and Chelsea, who has, I think, contributed before, thank you so much, said, "Still loving the podcast. Keep doing what you're doing." Thank you, Chelsea. I really, really appreciate that. Sanjay, we have one more thing to take care of. We've been lying to each other. Hopefully not like the whole time, but we have to finish
could
our
you
game.
imagine? The whole chat's been a lie.
Everything I
I didn't
said
even
was a
watch
lie.
this show.
I'm not even
Like,
called Sanjay.
I don't even know who Fiona is. Who's Fiona?
This is the reveal of the Trader Traitor. Sanjay, to help us decide who goes first, we're going to use the shield, which has been here on my companion. Uh,
Oh, look, it's
I'm gonna,
Claudia.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna hide the shield in one of my hands. Sanjay, is it in my right hand or my left hand?
Oh, what one's your left? Because I'm in a different angle.
Uh, you just say the one with the watch or the one with the little green bracelet. I'm also
Oh,
on
okay.
brand with my
Um, I'm gonna go with the one with the bracelet.
this one.
Yeah.
You're right, it was in that hand. That means you can decide, do you want to guess my lie first, or do you want to make me guess your lie first?
I'm gonna guess your lie.
Okay.
Um, I think your lie was something that you said during the episode. I'm not
Okay.
gonna lie. I didn't really pay attention because I was so focused. But I'm just gonna say, I think your lie is um James being engaged.
James being engaged.
Or is
I
it
didn't say
James? Or no,
I didn't
was
say
it
that.
Reese or Tom? When you said one of
Oh, I
them was
said
trying to wipe,
Matt is engaged. Matt
aye,
is
there you
saving money for a
go.
wedding. That was not my lie. Matt told us this in episode one, so I'm only repeating what Matt said. That was not my lie. However,
I'm not gonna lie.
I did lie. I'll tell you, I was lying about the episode. I lied about something that happened in it, kind of. I said that the mission was the same mission that you did in Traitors Ireland, and luckily you hadn't seen it, so I got away
Yes,
with
that's
it.
not fair. So that's not fair.
Not
So
my
I've not seen
problem.
that.
Not my problem, Sanjay.
So you're lying to me. I'm not gonna. I find this game so stressful every time you play it with me because I don't. I'm there at the start and I'm like, right, tell him a lie. But then I forget as we're talking that I need to remember that you've
I
said
know.
something that's a lie. So
I'm
it's an
sorry.
unfair game.
I'm
Anyway,
sorry.
what do you think my
Um,
lie is?
your lie, I've written down three options. It could be about the Bollywood film Gooped, but then I asked you about it and you didn't seem very flustered. You were like, oh, here's how you spell it. So I was like, hmm, he's like really sticking to that. So maybe that's like, maybe it's not a murder mystery film or something, I don't know. Or you talked about that prize at Summer Hall that was an old skull, but I don't know. I feel like that was so random for you to have made that up would be strange, unless there was just like one element of it that was made up. I'm gonna say it was something you said very early on about the boys' brigade and somewhere that you went on a trip. Was that your lie that it wasn't that place at all, and that you didn't do the thing you said you did?
They're all true.
Oh God.
So Goped is an iconic film. It was, I remember it clearly going to the Odeon at the Quay
Oh.
and sitting there watching it. And it's great. If you love Bollywood, it's GUPT. The Lustrum Award, I can even send you an image of it as an actual award. And I remember when I was front of house supervisor at Summer Hall, you did see some of the international acts going, what is this? Oh, why have we been presented with a skull? And I was in a boys' brigade, and we used to go to St. Andrews and camp in a church. And I
Oh, you
was
did.
7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. No, 8 to 11. And those were the times when there was no phones. Nobody had mobile phones. So there was a wee phone box just around the corner from the church. And we used
Oh,
to all
put in
queue
your
up
money.
and put in our 20p's and phone home.
It's all true.
So you
So,
didn't get
and
any of my
the
lies.
Odeon is right behind you in your picture, like kind of almost like, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like over that way.
So wait,
Um,
did you not guess what my lie is?
no, you're gonna have to tell me what was your lie.
I wasn't going to be a runner on
Oh,
Traitors.
for goodness sake!
But my friend Cindy did work on it as a runner, but she didn't offer me a job and Fringe didn't clash.
You know what? I almost at the time I was like, maybe this is it, but no, I was like, no, no.
It
Actually,
was very believable.
he's
I
told me
made
about
it
Cindy before, so I know that's true. So I
because
just
Cindy
believed
was a
all of
runner
it.
on Celebrity version, and you know it's so funny that she can't talk about it because she signed NDAs. So that's why I
Oh.
kind of thought because when you say come up with a lie, do you know what I actually was about to come up with? My original one that I wrote down, and then I thought, nah, he'll get me instantly. I wrote down when we were going to talk about the challenge, I was going to tell you that before my knee injury, I was into gorge walking.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
not into gorge walking.
you're an adventurous person. You like
I
trying
mean,
new
I have done
things.
gorge walking, but it's not something I do every weekend.
Okay.
So when we started talking, I was like, no, it needs to be a bit more Traitors related. But I
Who
love
can
that you
say
didn't get
whether I
it.
would have known? Sanjay, what a treat, what a joy, what a pleasure to have you on the pod again.
Oh,
As we're
thank you.
recording, episode 5 is about to begin, so we will have
Dun,
time to
dun,
go
dun,
off
dun,
and
dun.
watch. I hope you enjoy it. I hope your
And
predictions
you.
are true. And trade our listeners, I'll be back very soon with our Q&A bonus episode to talk about all of your thoughts and your theories and
Mm,
questions. Until then, goodbye Sanjay and laters
thank you.
traders.
Bye.